And we are live. Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, happy time zones wherever you might be. I'm Emma and welcome back to Sunless Skies, delicious friends. This is part 3, in which we will be doing something. You might think I'd take notes on what to do in between episodes. I do not. Let's see. Most of last time even was spent giving a tour to the fungal colony living in my driver's head, because, you know, that's a thing that happened. As a result, we are currently at the Lebanon Stainrod Nature Reserve. We have a full hold, full fuel and supplies and stuff, some tea, some crockery, some souls. We have a box of munitions we can take to Lustrum. They still want, oh, sorry, 2 more of them. Ah, this is where it lists everything else. Excellent. So yes, I need to arouse to the circus and explosives to Lustrum. What else do I have in my journal? Let's see. That's in London, that's in London. That's in London, that's... Ah, need to go to Port Haven to hand in my B trophy. Stuff in Carolyn. That's in Albion. That's in Hybris. Endurance, which is in Albion. More stuff on Lustrum. They should be done mining soon. Guy at the Nature Reserve wants some stuff. To explore the region's grave, I'll need a bunch of spare supplies, which might be tough with this smaller hold. And the navigator wants us to go to London, so lots of people want us to go to London. We're not going to be doing that for now. So, places I can go. Got Lustrum. Got Port Haven. Got... the circus. And then it's Hybris. Like, if I go to Lustrum and then swing round, although there's no way through there, we established as much last time. When we, nearly died. So... there might be a quicker way through there, and if we go to Lustrum, Port Haven, the circus, and then potentially Hybris. And it really doesn't escape me that Hybris is, basically, when I say it like that, an alternative transliteration of Hubris from Greek. Also, our terror is really quite high. Maybe should potentially look to that. But anyway, what kind of train would this be if I actually took care of things before we just set out into the unknown? That's what we do here. Aboard the Hubris. Also, this is probably the time to mention that aggressive plant life, just as a concept, skeeves me out a bit, so, it's a fun area. Taking some damage, I'd forgotten about that. We are going the right way, right? Oh, I don't know if there's a way through here, I kind of feel like there isn't. If there is, it will be a little bit south. Yeah, because you can see the solid coast there. The coast in space, I don't know, edge. The what we're calling coast. I mean, I feel like there will be lots of what we're calling this. That's been a recurring thing. I believe I have some samples of what might be called carrots. Okay, so yeah, we could get through there. That shaves a bit of travel time off. Then it's up the coast this way, and then rounding down to Lustrum. Wait, no. Cut south and then west, that's way shorter. I can read a map. Hello, Tackety Scout. We have no quarrel with you. We are literally on your side of the wall. You have a quarrel with that rock, apparently, and I will leave you to it. Would not want to get in the way of that particular fight. And follow this round. See a scribe spinster that's probably going to decide to tangle with me. Yep, there it is. Ah, okay, that was bad. Yes, welcome to the chat, Emily. There's another scribe spinster, which has also noticed me. And these are big, scary rocks covered in correspondence. So really, this is, in general, not a great place to be. You know the bit where I just altered my route to take us through here? In retrospect, maybe a bad idea. Can't investigate that without assaying. There's a cantankerite. Again, I have no quarrel with you. Rumors of mutiny, what? Pistol has vanished from the armory. Knives are disappearing. The signs of insurrection. So I can conduct an investigation, which is a 30% chance on my mirrors, or do nothing, lower terror by 50 but take a nightmare. I can afford to do that for now. What will come will come. You do not punish your crew or turn one against another. They know you know of their schemes, and find your eerie calm unsettling. The mutinous incidents cease, for now. Have the mutineers changed their mind, or are they biding their time? Is there a pistol under a pillow, waiting for a chance to end you? So I now have 1 nightmares, which is kind of the more permanent, oh my god, already, form of terror that it gets cashed into. Midnight, London time. You are alone on the bridge. While consulting your chart, a loud thump makes you look up. A frozen corpse is pressed against your forward windows, trapped there by your speed. The winds must have plucked it from some lost wreck and carried it into your path. The corpse's glare is insistent, its moustache bristled with frost. Send somebody out to remove it, that is 50-50, or try to shake it off. 81, yes, thank you. I do not care. Sudden break, a canter starboard. With the squeal of flesh on glass, the body slides from the windows. It's lost to view. A scrap of its sleeve remains caught on a rivet, flapping like a tiny celebrating flag. Cool, that's a new quality that is in no way going to be threatening in the future. Yes, you'll see next to our terror we now have one of the 4 nightmare things checked off. Okay, now, all those distractions aside, Lustrum. The port is on this side. Took some damage there. Oops. Okay, so first of all, have these munitions. And let's go to our claim. Are they... Okay, they're not quite done yet, which is annoying. I think they'll be done in like 3 days. Write a port report. Visit the tea shop because there's still a tea we haven't used. A lovely cup of tea. Empress's favour. Familiar, comfortable, with just a hint of lingering bitterness. A true Londoner's blend. Okay, thought we might get something once we've done all three. Apparently not. Let's just explore, because when you've got an explore prompt, that's just like, this will be a kind of local random encounter. What was once a small but attractive fenced-off park built for leisure is now a little frozen muddy pit. Miners' partners and older children handle the smaller and poorer quality geodes brought to them from the claim fields, chipping away at the delicate rocks to get to the fibrous growths inside. Many sniff and sob as they work. The luckier ones are simply overcome by maudlin memories brought back by exposure to fresh hours. They dry their eyes and tear-streaked faces and continue working. The rest have no time for such luxury. Their salted, hour-blackened hands never stop trying to tease every last second out of each tiny geode. They smile only when their younger children look up from playing in the frozen mud, a moment's false assurance that all will be well. So that's all we got for the explore, was just a depressing interlude. Great. So cool. Excellent. Right, in that case, let's buy a couple more things. Can I... No, I can't offload the other crap I've got in here. So, in that case... Honestly, I wanted these hours, so I might... I think I've got some business at Port Prosper. Although I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I might not have. Or I could go around to Carolyn and then come back. I might do that. Yeah, because we should be... The hours should be ready on the 13th, I think. I'm always bad at estimating how fast time is going to pass in this game. These games. That's a point. What should everybody else want for their personal quests? He needs nectar and tea. They want me to go to... is it London? I'd search all the main ports of Albion. Yes, I know I've checked this before. He wants more Sky Stories, he wants to go to London, she wants to go to Endurance. The rats want a Savage Secret. Okay. Well, if you are going to bump into the end where the guns live, lose terror or look for an uncanny specimen. Oh, let's just lose some terror. Always good. It's now the 12th, so yeah, frankly, at this rate of passage of time, it's best if I just turn around and head back to Lustrum. This is thrilling television, I know. And just watch, I'll have got the date wrong and it still won't be ready, at which point I will give up and just head to Port Haven. So I think I saw something on the map on this side. Yeah, apparently there's something that glitters here. Oh, it's a rock that I won't be able to mine on account of not having any mining equipment. Boo to that. Okay, the indicator says something's noticing me. I cannot see what. It's just in the visibility around here isn't great. Anyway, it's now the 13th. Here's Lustrum. Didn't damage our hull docking, it's all good. Yeah. Mighty poor harvest. What? 3 barrels? Boo to that. Well, they'll get me some. Okay. Right, so now let's head. Yeah, it's probably worth cutting through there still. Handed support reports, hit New Winchester and then Poive, and I think New Winchester I can sell off the random crap I've been collecting. So we can, you know, go and make some money. Maybe get a Savage Secret from Victory Hall so that we can talk to our rats some more. Yes, Ridge. I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? Well, you know what? I'll go round this to the south. It'll take slightly longer, but I won't be driving past terrifying correspondence rocks and a bunch of scribesminsters, so that's probably for the best, it feels like. Maybe don't run into a bunch of monsters in the writing of God. Now that they've mentioned Book S, I just want to start making Book S references and everything. Although, to be fair, I do that anyway. Okay, so this is, I still think, yeah, I think this is still going to take us past some of these Scribesminster areas, but I'm reasonably good at avoiding them at the minute. I say like I didn't get entirely shot by one earlier, like 5 minutes ago. Also, I keep glancing back at the chat and reading that as how am I supposed to bully you into taking care of yourself if I'm not in a cult? Which I guess is true in its own way. Okay, right. Strip for repairs. Yes, thank you. Ah, but here's the people who made the wreck. And there's a Scribesminster. And a Cantankerite. I'm not getting in anything. Yes! Yes, fight each other, my children! Aha! You say, I guess we can start a cult. I regret to inform you that my chat is already a cult. There's a rock in the way. Get wrecked! Oh no, there's not a rock in the way. Oh, thank you so much, Charity Lady, for the gift sub. Very kind of you. Living up to the name as ever. Yeah, broke buying gift subs, woke recruiting people to the cult. Scavenge that, get some more crockery that we can sell. I keep wanting to say in London, but no, we haven't even got to London yet. I'm used to Sunless Sea, where, you know, there's only one central hub port and it's London. Out of the fog, so that's nice at least. Oh god, no, please don't start a wellness cult. The minute you start doing wellness multi-level marketing in my chat, you are just banned forever, I'm sorry. Like, must never happen. No Nutriboom in here. Yes, we know about the down locomotive on Hybris. We literally already have this quest, but now I guess we have the quest twice. So many trains on Hybris. I have some more reports. 200 sovereigns. Stovepipes down to 0. And also I need a savage secret so I can talk to some rats. You know how it is. Hey rats! Cinders lights a cigar. Our Sarge kicked the bucket in the blockade, but the night before he told each of us he'd left us something in the vault. Old Salt must have been loaded. He guessed we needed a count number to get it. He gave part of it to each of us so there'd be no thieving, hence our predicament. At last mission, our lieutenant sold it out. Half the squad died, the rest scattered. We took the numbers off the dead, but we need to find the survivors of the company. Between us, we have the number. Then we start to find the vault. Cinders grinds her yellow teeth in frustration. Sarge kept some stuff at Carolyn. Doubt it's the vault, but might be a clue. She cocks her head. 50 sovereigns for a trip to Carolyn, then? I mean, yeah, if you want to pay me, I was going to take you for free. But, oh, we can ask Albrecht about the sergeant. Albrecht is polishing his claws. The sergeant casts a long shadow. He assembled us at the start of the Vinges de Var. The best fighting rats who came through the Abbot Horizon. We made as a unit. He adjusts his whiskers. But we had no respect. We were expendable. To get better contracts, we had to be respectable. So he found a rodent officer class to lead us. That hamster, I think. He sighs, and that's where it all went wrong. He lapses into silence and will say no more, in his German accent that kept turning into French, because that's an accent I actually can do. Okay, so they want us to go to Carolyn. I'm sure we will do that at some point, because we should probably get our soul looked at. But I wanted to get my stats up a bit more, because there's a lot of subjects. And it's very easy to just absolutely nuke your terror there, I seem to remember. And we made it back to New Winchester. Let's get repaired up. Let us... No, that's the wrong button. Anything at the bazaar? Carolyn also want hours. Everybody wants hours. And Titania want verdant seeds. You know, I'll take it just so I've got a constant thing telling me where to go for Titania, because I've not seen it yet. Let's go to the market, and we can sell a bunch of crockery, some souls, not selling these hours. I'll keep one caddy of tea, because I need it as nectar for the Repentant Devil, but that's 400 sovereigns. Load back up on these. Now, do we have... Ah, right, so the space we could use for, like, mining or something we are currently taking with an additional cargo bay, which, frankly, I'm entirely happy with. That's a useful thing. Why did I close that window? Anything new in the city? No? Oh, the stream crashed. Ugh. Yeah, I think my whole computer had a weird hiccup there. We are back. Twitch still reckons this is the same session, so it won't be too much of a dick when I'm trying to export it. Or maybe it will, but hey. Yeah, no, I think my entire computer just said no for a second. The game froze and everything. Hope you didn't miss much. No, looking at the timestamps, you got like less than a minute cut. Anyway, here we are at Port Haven, where we can join a hunting club, because that seems like the kind of person we are. Oh hey, Mr. Menageries here. But first of all, well, actually, no, let's check him out. Still can't afford anything, and frankly, any of the ones we had would be worse. But I will listen to a story for a sovereign. Mr. Menagerie gestures to the ruins that loom over the port like the Sphinx outside Thebes. We were in service here long ago, a bargain struck with the old king in the woods. We served at table, procured deliciousness, watched, witnessed, feared. Freedom is better. Freedom is better, it repeats in tones of mild admonishment. Okay, well that was constructive, thank you. Bye-bye. Do I need to buy cheap fuel? No, not. Back just in time for your meeting. Okay, well, see you in a bit, as ever. Give us a port report. But also, we go to the pub. We head upstairs. We deliver a Chorister B trophy. The stout veteran looks deep into its eyes. Not so tough now, are we? He crows. Jenkins, fetch the names. I have filled your one. Now, about that membership. Ah, yes. The stout veteran twiddles his bushy moustache. Of course you will be most welcome once the spot opens up. Dead man's shoes, I'm afraid, and our chaps do rather cling to their place at the bar. But do come and meet everyone. I'm certain they'll be thrilled to hear your stories and slip your name to the right kind of people. You have technically been accepted into the club. Great, so we just have to wait for somebody to die. But now we have a cryptic benefactor and 250 sovereigns. Is that all that was for? That seems to be all that was for. Great. Yeah, 250 sovereigns is still nothing to sneeze at, I guess. Wait a second, they sell seeds here, don't they? Do they? Yes, no? No, they sell souls. Boo. Okay, so we know that Titania is somewhere in here. We know that we want to take ours to the circus and thence to Hybris. I don't currently have the seeds to take to Titania, but I do have the hours, so circus it is, I suppose. How is everybody in chat this lovely time zone? I have no idea if it's lovely, the blind's closed. Could be absolutely awful. I was about to say it was snowing here the other day, and I was ill over the weekend, so I suddenly realised that I have no clue whether that actually happened or that was a dream. Welcome to my life. I love those vivid dreams that only come to you as memories 4 days later. And by love, I mean a different verb. Doing work and listening to my concerning explorations. Well, they will, in all likelihood, continue to be concerning. I will certainly continue to be concerned. I like how we get the thing that pop up there saying, the vagabond saying, carnival folks, my sort of people. Yeah, we picked you up here. My sort of people, i.e. people I actually know personally on account of this is where I came from. Drift into port. Absolutely lovely. Nailed it. New arrivals in the circus. A fire burns by the obelisk where newcomers mingle. None of them seem to know what drew them here, save that they had nowhere else they knew they should be. They trade stories and the last of the liquor from their flasks, finding solace here for reasons that even they can't seem to explain. I could roll to recruit them, but it's a bad roll, and also I don't need any more crews, so let's just listen to their stories. The broken, the disavowed, the fugitives. Every visitor has their own story, and a hole in their heart. A few demonstrate acts with which they hope to join the circus itself. Others talk of their plans to leave this place and resume their lives. Not today, but tomorrow. Or the day after that, perhaps. Terror has fallen, despite that being more than a little disquieting. Anyway, have some hours. I mind them myself, and by mind them myself, I mean employed people. Aha, I need 2 nectar for the devil. I will buy another crate of supplies just in case, but also with him can actually visit the circus again. Let's have a port report. Let's buy some more tickets. Let's attend another performance. What wonders do await us this evening? The tent is barely any more populated than the last show. The ringmaster does his best, fixing a wide grin under his moustache as he introduces what passes for the acts. The humiliated magician's attempt to saw his assistant in half comes to an unfortunate end. High above, the bereaved acrobat again performs their half of the routine for a tiny amount of applause. Afterward, the pensive clown trips into the spotlight, dropping the balls he juggles. It's silent enough to hear them hit the floor. It ends when the headstrong, strong woman lifts a very large barbell over her head. She repeats this several times when the crowd's reaction isn't as enthusiastic as she'd liked. The show ends with a smattering of reluctant applause. So, we would have got stories there, except we already have too many. But most importantly, that's brought our familiarity up to 3. So now that they know us, we can do more stuff here. Let's speak to the ringmaster. The ringmaster looks relieved to see a familiar face. Oh, thank God. I've got a show to put on, and one of my biggest acts is throwing a tantrum. Nah. He pauses, toying with his exquisitely managed moustache as he looks you up and down. I don't suppose you've ever considered stepping into the ring yourself. Sure, let's join the circus. What could go wrong? What's our highest stat? Can't look at our stats right now. What do we feel like we'd be good at? You know what, let's continue to just be brash and hubristic and be a lion tamer. Whip in hand, you stare down the circus's one remaining lion. It makes it clear that when it comes to meat, there is meat that it respects and meat that it does not. Afterwards, the ringmaster claps you on the shoulder. Excellent! Well, Terrible. Never do that again. Well, please, come and see me behind the tents. Gain 5 sky stories. Now we can talk to the vagabond as well. Advancing so many quest lines. Behind the tents, you say? Beyond the performers and the permanent audience, the circus is deserted. Everyone keeps to their quarters unless they're practicing the show. Despite the calliope music, the mood back here is close to that of a mausoleum. So, Ringmaster, you want to see me? The Ringmaster is sat on a fat cushion idly shuffling a worn pack of playing cards. He smiles wearily at you. Asks the cards about you. Draws from the top of the deck, sets them on the table. I say you can help. He then places them back into the deck and bids you shuffle and draw for yourself. The cards are the same. He smiles the same weary smile. Looks like they haven't changed their minds. Yes, hats, cats, bats, and rats, there are the 4 suits in a Fallen London deck of cards. And I know this because they made a limited edition replica set, and they're absolutely beautiful. They've all got custom art and gold edging. They're very, very nice. I have a lot of decks of playing cards, it's a thing. So as soon as they released those, I was just like, wimble slam, buy it immediately. The Ringmaster shuffles, cuts, and deals the cards. This is what work I can offer you. So we can accept a commission to repair his props, to reclaim the acrobat's twin, purchase costumes for the clown, post flyers for the strong woman. Let's repair the props. The Ringmaster passes you an envelope addressed to a shop in Port Haven. We have a friend there who'll do the repairs for us. He deftly gathers his cards from the table. Wish we didn't have to rely on the bloody contraptions. The card and coin magic's too small to see from the upper rows. Go to Port Haven. Yeah, so we can only do one of those at a time, that's fine. So back to Port Haven, I guess. But we can talk to everyone. The humiliated magician. He leans beneath a faded poster of himself, smoking a cheap, malodorous tobacco. It breaks my heart you had to sit through that, he says, nodding towards the big top. Sometimes I wonder why I left Mahogany Hall. Then I remember how much Plenty paid when this whole place lost its funding. He puts out the cigarette on the poster, then tosses it into an overturned top hat. But what about the bereaved acrobat? They half raise themselves from their deep cushions in greeting and bid you sit across from them. They ask how you enjoyed the show, and before you can answer, they apologise for their performance. I'm nothing by myself, they say, without my twin there to catch me, or there to leap for me to catch. It's quite dull. But they're trying to break themselves from the circus again. And the clown? His head is bowed, his bald dome shines in the lantern light. If you ignore the grease paint, he looks not unlike the bust of a Grecian philosopher. The clown rubs the back of his head. It's troubling to me that the show goes on and no one's there to watch it. He looks to you searchingly. What does he expect you to say? And the strong woman? She welcomes you to her caravan and begs your pardon for the mess, for though the caravan is a remarkable oasis of cleanliness in the otherwise untidy port, the only other seat she can offer is stacked with poems. She places them beneath her own chair and begins to ask you questions about your life. Any inquiries into her own she deflects with the wit of a slighted baroness. Lots of interesting people here. Lots of interesting people. Cool. Cool. Let's go searching for hubris, hybris. Which is southeast of New Winchester, so somewhere around here. I like how everybody's like, well, there's something a bit weird about this circus. It's got the massive correspondence obelisk behind it. It's just, I think that might have something to do with it. Just a guess. Poetry, curiosity, pride, and big lady. Really, the 4 elements of any successful game. Okay, if this isn't the way through, although maybe if I go west it will curve round. Let's check. Because I mean, exploration, if nothing else, is always going to fill out a little bit more on my chart. Aha, yes, it's looking like this does have a way down. Let's throw an owl. I bought some more supplies in the circus, so I should be good. A bunch of stuff there, something there, no stations marked. That's fine. I have a feeling like I might need to come round and up, kind of like I did for Lustrum. Thought there was something happening in the real world, but no, it's just some sudden music. Hello, is this a place? It looks like a place. It's got gun emplacements and gun. Which are the gun emplacements? It said something notices me. Oh well, here's a marauder. That's definitely noticed me. There's another marauder. I should get out of here. This is not great. Okay, there's a station just to the east of here, and that is southeast, so that may well be Hybris. But it's on the other side of whatever this place is, with all its marauders and gun turrets. You know what? You can go. Nope, dodged the wrong way directly into that. Did it again. Almost did it again. Didn't dodge, just got shot. They need to stop letting me drive trains. I'm clearly not good at it. Let's find some unusual items. Some more gossip, not ideal, but hey, it works. The wreckage of the Battle of Culverston over there. There are those fronds or tentacles? I'm thinking fronds, but I'm still. Oh, it's all fungal, which, yes, I know is what Hybris is like. That's what we were told to look for, but still. Ugh, speaking of things that skeeve me out. Okay, it should be the other side of this wall if I can find a way around. Come on, Hybris, give me a way around. So I really hope they sell fuel and or supplies. Have I just gone the wrong way? Is there no way around? I did say we were going in search of hubris, and I think we may have found it. Aha! This is promising. Now I just need it to curve south. Looks like it curves south. We are saved? Question mark. There's... What the heck? Okay, so that was an upsetting tentacle explosion, but also we've been Faith's Fall. What remains of Behemoth's I just forgot how to say that word. Behemoth's carapace is scarred with sigils. Most are marred and broken, some still holding a sullen, resentful power. Your locomotive is stopped on a broad, flat section of the shell. The few sigils nearby are too cracked to risk much harm. Corpse of a messenger, apparently. I'm not spending my last supplies on investigating it, and do I want to risk getting some hull? 46%. Yes. Okay, failed, so what does that mean? 3 crew? Your crew are gone for several hours. Only a few returned, dragging a small piece of chitin, enough to patch your hull, but less than they should have gathered. The others dead? Gone, they say. Traitors. Discipline will have to wait. For now, you need them to make your engine repairs. Okay, well that was... It would not be wise to linger, that much is certainly true. Wow, that's a whole last thing. Cool. Squid trains, very cool. I just want to get to Hybris. Please go away, squid train. I do not wish to tangle, but I will tangle if I must. Ah! That last one just clipped me. And whereas that one absolutely nailed me. Oh, I see it. Hybris! Well, that was stressful. A fledgling colony trying to dig its fingernails deep enough into the spongy... Spongy? Wow, I say words. Spongy, fungal fabric of the reach to cling on when hard times come. It's a sad truth that many more settlements are founded than flourish. Nestled amidst sprawling, sporing gardens of fungus, Hybris is a colony of octogenarians. Emily, have you just come back to your meeting purely to mock me for not being able to say spongy? Rotting buildings slough gently into decay. Maintenance is poor, the population aged. An insect speckled with fungus flies past drowsily. Growth asks no license, reads a barely legible sign staked into a collapsed pile of fungal eggs. A venerable welcoming party. Well, good. It's nice to have some respect around here. Oh, you like Spunky? Well, in that case, you are welcome to it. Isn't it? Oh no, I'm thinking of... Is it Sprungly that make macaroons and stuff? It's a European confectioner. Anyway. Yes, the Wizened Mayor approaches. He has a firm handshake. Welcome to our little hideaway. Watch your step, that one's about to fruit. Sure enough, the little white sack at your feet suddenly splits. Snaking tendrils of red fungus explode outwards. This is... The mayoral assistant, a severe woman of slightly less advanced years, guides the mayor to a nearby bench. You may stay as long as you like. Something is changing in Hybris. Well, that's threatening. Let's get the report. Life moves slowly here. There are arguments over the rules of bowls and the correct amount of time to steep tea. The station master seems to avoid the villagers. There's an unusually unique quality to the starlight which filters through the underside of the cats. Make a delicate inquiry. Everyone here is very old indeed. Is there a lower age limit on settling? It is Sprungly. Yeah, thank you. The Wizened Mayor chuckles. Oh no, we'd welcome youth, but we don't get many settlers coming out this way. We're happily secluded here. He smiles wistfully as across the march his mayoral assistant trounces an unfortunate of bowls. Our best years were spent by others. The Wizened Mayor glances toward the town hall where preparations are being made for a performance. We have plans to hopefully change that, though. Well, anyway, let's do the things we actually came for. The guy at the Nature Reserve wanted a sample of Hybris pus. The difficulty in collecting samples isn't in having to climb to some remote peak or fighting off creatures who are all teeth and claws. It's in abiding the smell. And we came looking for Madame Lumiere. Loud curses lead you towards an elderly woman fiddling with an antiquated camera. She sighs and shuts the frame. That'll do. She offers a trembling hand. Lumiere, once a renowned explorer and filmmaker, now, as you see. A cough rattles through her. You from New Winchester? I'll live with you. I can pay my way. I'm done here. My lungs won't tolerate much more of this. She smiles wanly. I have a premiere to plan. 24 sovereigns. Wow, such fee. And we were looking for a downed locomotive. You lead a small team through the slotsome desert marshes and the groaning fungal forests, where the drone of insects infected by fruiting spikes of fungus drowns out all other sound. My toes are genuinely curling at these descriptions. Hidden deep in the bogs, you would have almost passed by the fallen engine. The tackety engine rises from the marsh like a stick in the water, battered and smoking. So we could help them, or take down the location and report it to the Winwood Company. Well, the Winwood Company is already pretty screwed, so we help. You order your crew to pitch in, donning wetsuits and gathering cloth about your mouths. The leader of the tacketies is the second lieutenant. The captain went down when we were hit off the White Archers, who guides you through the creaking engine. The ramshackle locomotive is seeping with marsh water and reeks of damp. Dragging out unconscious crew and salvaging supplies takes hours, but the lieutenant refuses to leave a man behind. As night draws in, she goes in with you one last time. At the bottom of the engine, all but sunk in the marsh, is a heavy box that takes two to carry out. We can get passage from here. Can't lose this. Got 10 fortunes and 10 reputation. We are now admired. Admired. Yeah, Tacketies love us. Let's explore the settlement just to see what's happening. A game of bowls has been organised on the flattest bit of marsh. You're invited to participate by the mayoral assistant, who proves herself a mean backhand draw. When all is over and everyone's retired for fungal juices at the Brendan, the wizard mayor takes you aside. This is what it's all about. A second youth. First, in some cases. He grins conspiratorially. Cool. Well, something is certainly happening here. You're selling cheap souls. Oh, you sell seeds here. Right. Oh, that you don't sell fuel. That's unfortunate. Now, I wanted seeds at Titania. Yeah, why don't I just buy all 5 sacks here? Turn them in for a profit over there. Hopefully get somewhere where I can buy fuel sooner rather than later. If I keep pushing through down here, there should be a way to get back up, and then they might sell fuel at Maudlin's. Let's go, hubris style. Is it really hubris when there's nothing I can do? Wait a minute, you know what I can do in the meantime is talk to a couple of my officers, because I bought... He wants 2 caddies of tea. I sold the other one. Okay. Maybe not him, but we can talk to the vagabond. Swap stories. The vagabond's stories often feature larger-than-life characters from his loose community of vagrants. People with names like Sooty Jim or the Chimney Kid, and who collectively call themselves Skylarks. They hitch rides on locomotives, sometimes without permission, and scrounge a living from port to port. I'm their king, says the vagabond without humility. I taught half of them how to tie a bindle. He pauses, sipping from his flask. We have monthly gatherings at Port Avon. You should accompany me to the next one. Never meet a more interesting bundle of folks. Okay. I mean, yeah, I need to go to Port Avon for other stuff as well. They definitely don't sell fuel there. No, I think we're committed to this direction, and you know, whatever happens, happens. Oh, I will be so glad once we're out of this area. Not gonna lie. Anything the owl thinks we should know about around here? Although if it can't tell me, there is a passage through here. There's a transit relay down there, which I'm guessing goes to Eleutheria, because we've seen the other two areas. Huh. Well, that's good to know for later, I guess. I want to come across a wreck that has spare fuel we can salvage or something. I also want the coast to turn north. However, it looks like, as a wise and or significantly on drugs man wrote, you can't always get what you want. But we are mostly, touch wood, out of the fungus, so I'll take that. Hello, Starman Captain. Starman and Explorer, really don't have the time or fuel. If you could just, keep ramming into walls and blow yourself up. All good, thank you very much. You, on the other hand, I'm heading for, so you can have it. Thanks for conveniently missing me while I was unable to dodge, but not that time. Dodged the wrong way, suffered a critical hit, that's bad. Really hope you have fuel and or hull I can steal. No. Oh, let's find some stuff. More gossip. I don't need gossip, I need to be not dead. Did they sell fuel at the circus? I really don't think they did. I think they just sold supplies. I think we might be doomed. Unless I can just happen upon wreck with some fuel, or if I can just full steam to New Winchester and somehow make it. More marauders! If I needed to be not dead, why am I in the reach? I mean, you're not wrong. Can't collect anything there because I don't have mining equipment. There's a marauder and a tactical scout having a fight, and I'll need to go through frame. Well, okay, no, I won't. That's stupid. Okay, I mean, it's a pretty straight I need to stop dodging, that uses up slightly more fuel. It's a pretty straight shot up to Winchester from here. I might just be able to make it. God, the Tactics drive some dirty engines. This a homestead. Do you have fuel to trade? An abandoned homestead. We can collect some ants for lead and stone rod, or 75% chance of finding something. Maybe it's fuel. It's supplies. Well, could be worse, I guess, but I've leveled up, so let's see what I can get before we die. Any new ones added? No, I think it's all the same. Okay, no, Steam Insert's new. What do I want? Wow, our mirrors is terrible. So mirrors sub either Hearts and Veils. So I could have a Promise of Days, I could have a Coterie, which also gets me Nightmares down, hello yes. Along with some dear friends and acquaintances who formed a tightly bound clique of free spirits. Got this by having our affiliation with him here in 2 or more. Finding the prevailing opinions of society stifling, sought solace among more congenial company. What shared interest brought you together? And it's going to be a love of art, poetry, painting, music, sculpture. You mean to add to the beauty in the world. You are one another's fiercest critics, most dedicated supporters. There you go. Mirrors up to 30, that is good. Nightmares down to 0, that is better. I'm terrified of jinxing it, but I feel like we might make it to Winchester. Everything's coming up hubris. There's the notification saying that we're near New Winchester. I'm about to run straight into this headland. Its name is Garrett. No, it's not. It's Gabriel's Archive. That was just a bad joke. I've said it on the internet now. Somebody out there is just taking clips of me making dad jokes, aren't they? Engine damage? If this kills me just outside port. During a recent battle, shrapnel pierced the hull and perforated a cluster of pressure lines. In order to maintain the boiler pressure, your locomotive now has to plug fuel where you're under sherry. Shut the engine down for repairs, lose fuel, or reduce fuel efficiency. Honestly, shutting it down for repairs, that's just going to cost us supplies. We have supplies. Yeah. When the engine dies, the pipes and the boiler fall silent. As they cool, your locomotive yields to the sky's pitiless cold. Breath of your crew misses in the air. When the repairs are finally completed, you begin the laborious process of restarting the engine and getting the boiler back up to temperature. It's 3 bitter days before you're underway again. Lost 2 supplies, gained some terror, but critical damage has gone. We didn't have to spend any more of our fuel. And far be it from me to say, but crash into a wall, take some more damage, but we're here! Didn't need to tell me to stretch that time, because Jesus, did I need it. Oh my god. I do not believe we're alive. Let's repair the locomotive, spend 90 sovereigns. Drop off Madame Lumiere. She gives you a brisk handshake as she departs your locomotive. Better accommodation than I'm used to. Now I have a premiere to plan. You're invited, of course. It'll be next week, assuming I haven't killed over. She bustles off into the smog of New Winchester. Your quartermaster complains that it's going to take weeks to get the spores out of her berth. Got more sovereigns, got invited to a party. Higher on crew because 3 people died. The next ship should be named the Undeserved. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, that was the other one I had. Carol and still on hours, but it's fine for now. I got any good cargo to sell? No, I need the tea and the nectar, and I need some more tea. And that tooltip has got stuck. Okay. So I think next thing will be finding Titania. Oh, and also we've got to go to the nature reserve. That's fine. Titania is to north-northeast. North-northeast. Saying it out loud because I get directions wrong. So I would guess around here, because you go too far north-northeast and you're at Otunwell, which is not ideal. So check that bit of coast and that bit of coast. Okay. We can do that, let's go. Not got quite as many supplies as I would like, so gonna have to be careful about those. Stop in here, hand off some port reports. Excellent. What was it the Rat Brigade wanted again? I forget. Carolyn. Okay, well, we'll not be going there for the time being. Yeah, once I get close to there, I can start throwing the owl out, but I don't want to do that too much on account of, again, supplies. There's a taxi ship. Veering very close to me. My dude learned to drive. And they're not ships, are they? They're trains. I'm just too used to the other game. Send out the owl. What does its owl I see? Just that. Okay, well. I'll take this round and see if that little cove has an opening in it. If not, I might stop in at the nature reserve anyway, since we're here. And if it's not there, then it must be up through that bit by Port Haven. I mean, it could be both. Holes often have two ends. I mean, because topologically that's literally the definition of a hole. I love that tooltip being like, here the reach runs wild. Yeah, it's been so tame everywhere else. So tame and under control. Just completely normal. In no way hostile to my poor breakable ship, which is still a train. I can tell it's a train because it's making a train noise. Aha, it looks like this is a passage. I think. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, that bit at the bottom is just background. Oh, thank God. Well, here's William's whale. Aha! We found a station. So if I just follow this round, I should get there. Advancement, discoveries, all these good things, and more. Here on twitch.tv/driving a train into a wall. And if that account already exists and I've just provided them some free advertising, then you're welcome, because that's a great name. Oh. Oh, they want to sacrifice a bunch of our crew again. that's only a 70% chance. Yes, can I get it just so I stop seeing that eye? The next morning, 3 of your crew awake to find marks daubed in coal dust on their foreheads. How curious. Over the next week, all 3 of them die, not from violence or murder, but to accidents, to illness, to misfortune. As if the threads of their lives have been cut short. The ochre fog sinks away and troubles you no more. Okay, so we no longer have the god of the sky angry at us, but we have gained some terror and killed 3 people. But on the other hand, I think we found Titania. Well, on account of we just heard a talking about Titania, I'm going to go with yes. I'd forgotten how pretty this place was. Titania, 512 XP, crash into a wall, not quite, haha, rescued it. Valentine Square. Titania is cupped in the petals of a colossal orchid, heady with scent, lurid with colour. An enclave of Bohemians have made it their home, seeking inspiration in the wildness of the Reach. Okay, well, before I deal with them... You wanted seeds? I have seeds. Wait. I bought them for 80. This whole thing has been a colossal waste of time! Okay, but, I mean, you get some bonus XP and more sovereigns for completing it, I guess. And they're selling ministry-approved literature. Wait, I feel like I need that for something. Excuse me while I consult my journal. Nature Reserve. Haven. Okay, no. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Sapphire Suqua, they also sell nectar. But also fuel and supplies, which I desperately need. But anyway, to do the actual story content. Oberon's Landing. The port unfurls itself, welcoming you ashore. This perfumed haven was intended for thinkers, artists, philosophers, and poets. Instead, you enter its main dome to find yourself surrounded by arguing Bohemians and the unfinished shells of buildings in a variety of styles. Nobody looks happy, but everyone agrees it's someone else's fault. Relatable. Right, report. What is Titania? A question with no easy answer. To the poets, a place of inspiration. To the stoneworkers, an untouched slab. To the playwrights, a blank page. A place of tranquility, of creation. And your interviewee pauses, suddenly looking worried. Do you hear buzzing? Apologies, must get inside. You can't see or hear anything, however. Must assume it's just force of habit. Meet with the rhapsodic mayor. Titania's petals fill the air with a perpetual perfume, but eventually you become accustomed to it. Even so, the scent of the many flowers in the mayor's small office sends your senses reeling. Obviously unaffected, she sits behind her desk and gestures for you to take the other chair. Ask about Titania. A spectacular place, isn't it? We couldn't believe that no one else had colonized it after, well, whoever built all the crystal domes and spires. Honestly, I can't believe our luck. I've asked about work in the port. The rhapsodic mayor shakes her head. I think you will find us self-sufficient, Captain. Enjoy your visit. Take in some poetry. If I think of anything that we might require, you can be the first to know. Alright. Explore Titania. Light sparkles through the jewel petals onto the marbled white paths. Wherever you explore, poets and singers perform their latest work, while artists peer behind canvases to try to capture the beauty in oil and chalk. In the horrors of the high wilderness, this is a place of safety and wonder, where nothing could possibly disturb the peace. But what is that buzzing in the distance? Return to Titania later to see how it's faring. Well, that's menacing. And at the Porphyry Font, you can donate stories for money and XP. That's interesting. We have 5 visions of the heavens. Sure. Yeah. It'll do. Okay. So now where? Port Haven, I guess? Or do we curl back round to the nature reserve? Tell you what, let's do the nature reserve first, because then we might actually be able to swing by a new Winchester, and I think we have enough for that new ship. And it's still a locomotive. Yeah, so if we go up here and then back down to Winchester. I think that might actually be all of the main port. Well, can't remember how many there are of them. Dang it. This is where it's annoying that I can't clear out my Steam achievements like I did my saves, so I would actually know when I'd discovered everything in a region. This arch doesn't have a name, which makes it so much worse than the Mornington Abrathas ban. This stream brought to you by the Mornington Abrathas ban. Drift into port. Nailed. Gather report. Join a hunting party. An opportunistic ranger smiles a mostly toothless grin and shows off his many scars from the beasts of the nature reserve. Only 33% chance of success, or we can just take a straightforward reduce terror. I will do that. Turning in my research because I have some Hybros pass for you. You're thanked for your efforts and asked to wait while the company sorts out your rewards. It might be a couple of days. Soon the phlegmatic researcher summons you to collect your reward. He hardly waves his cane in greeting while you enter. Awful stuff, he frowns. No redeeming virtues. Well, we got 300 sovereigns. Frankly, that's a redeeming virtue. So we could leave it and hand in more stuff. Or we could just say, cool, do it. Yeah, see what happens. Return in 15 days. Oh, okay. Welp. That's what? End of August. Let's head down to New Winchester and buy ourselves a ship, shall we? And maybe go and take in a film. Sorry, I felt like the commentary's fallen off a bit just because I'm focusing on getting through this journey and not dying. And also, nothing particular is happening. That's the thing, is these games do occasionally come down to just a lot of traversal. But I get that. I mean, I get that they're trying to kind of portray the vastness and the melancholy of traveling like this. It's one of those where it's like, this feels bad, but I think it's meant to. There's the company. Just briefly spit across space at them. Here's another bridge which isn't called the Mornington Aberthat span and is thus inferior. But we dock. We hand in our port reports. We get gratitude and money. All good, all good. Oh, apologies, New Winchester Port Authority, my finger legitimately slipped. Okay, let's hire on some crew because a bunch more died. Oh, I don't have the opportunity yet. That's annoying. We can attend the Grand Premiere. Madame Lumiere has wasted no time in organising the premiere. To express her gratitude, she's given you tickets. Madame Lumiere has reopened a theatre beneath the arches of the Bishop Bridge. Prominent tackities sit with London sympathisers. They fought a brief truce, united in their loathing of the cramped velvet seats. A light flares on the plaster wall. The film begins. The film is titled The Concupiscence of the Verdants. Flickering images on painted lenses jerk across the wall. The camera luxuriates in the collapsing brown flesh of a fruiting fungus, the flight of a sporing body, the sudden bursting of a violet fungal sac, the prolonged death spasms of the cameraman. There are gasps from the audience, and this game is just going to keep making me describe fungus in great detail, isn't it? So we can choose to take in the detail, rather wider picture, or close my eyes. Yeah, that sounds more like me, a rather wider picture. If you avoid looking at the foreground, there's much to appreciate. The film strips have been painted to reveal the lush colours of the landscapes, the violent purple of the fungus. There is an awful beauty to the whole thing. I am a fan of awful beauty. It's difficult to entirely ignore the energetic and occasionally traumatic activities occurring in the foreground of every shot, but you persevere. Lumiere catches up with you as you're leaving. I don't know why everyone hurried away. Anyway, I'm venturing into new territories. Meet me later if you like. You attended the premiere, God help you. Well, let's go say hello. She's promised a meeting. She's currently occupying one of New Winchester's cafes. She's provided the table now. She rings for 2 cups of nectar-infused tea. I crave the stuff, she says, a smile creasing her face like a well-used cushion. I am too old to be lugging cameras about anymore, waiting for the perfect shot. My own fault. I could have stayed in London, but I wanted to... Yeah, well, she's going German as well, but I wanted to see the stars. Thanks for helping me home. This is where I'll stay now, I think. She coughs into a yellow-stained handkerchief. Time to fund for the travel and make them, I think. The coughing worsens. Please, excuse me. She leaves you with a hurried goodbye and the bell. Great, thanks, Madame Lumiere. Well, that happened. Anything new at the province days? Nope. Do we have any new options in the black box? We can consult with an academic, because we have an uncanny specimen to give them. Sure. The academic is wild-haired and scatterbrained, but his expertise is undeniable. He provides a wild hypothesis. We know that judgments, the suns, made the laws that govern all things. Those laws are enforced most vigorously wherever their light can reach, but a container like this might thwart their sight. If I wanted to exclude something from certain laws of the heavens, I would hide it in a box like this. Yes, this is one of the cool bits of deep lore of the Fallen London universe, is that stars are alive. They're beings called judgments who occupy the top of the great chain of being, and all kind of physical laws are specifically laws made by the stars and communicated through their light, which is why as soon as London gets sucked underground, people stop dying normally, and lots of general laws of nature can start going wrong because they don't have sunlight, and that is what communicates law. And then there's the whole bit of the new sequence, who are a faction employed by the government trying to build their own sun, so that they can use that to enforce their own law. Which I think they kind of have at this point in the timeline, because everyone's referred to London's Clockwork Sun, which is very much what they were building in the last game. So we'll see more of that in Albion. Yes, you say that part you didn't know. Like I say, it's the deep lore. That comes up at some of the very late and abstruse stories in Fallen London. There's a lot of interesting lore. But do I want to try and open it? I could try and pick the lock. 61% chance. I could try. But not. No, I told her I'd take it to London. I'll take it to London. But most importantly, we could afford. Oh, either of these. Okay. That's exciting. What's the difference between them? So we've got the trader and the escort. Both of them have 2 light weapons, no heavy weapons. That's fine. I was only using light weapons to begin with. Bedivere has 2 armor slots. They both only have 1 bridge slot, but I'm not using both my bridge slots, so that's not a problem. The Pelnor has an extra orc slot. The Bedivere only has 1. Bedivere has more hull. Pelnor has more hold space. Bedivere holds more crew. And has... I don't know how to interpret this number, but Bedivere I think has slightly better fuel efficiency. I mean, they're both significantly better than the one I've got, but it's just which is the better of the 2, do I think? Honestly, it's my hold space that's been the most limiting factor. A new locomotive, and yes, thank you, chat, this is the undeserved. And yeah, I mean, we've spent the 2,000 on that. Well, technically, I think like 3,500. So we could just free switch to an escort any time we wanted to try it. So that's cool. Then if we go to Abraham's Engineering, I could pick up a mining array for my other orc slot, but it's most of my money. No, I've just realised I haven't stocked back up on fuel and supplies. And now, if I start taking to 3 of each, 5 of each is the number I meant. There, we've still got a bunch of hold space so that we can pick stuff up around in other stations. So that's all good. We still can't hire crew on here, which is annoying. Can we? No, it's once every 15 days. But we have a bigger hull. We have an armor slot that we could use. Is all good. Is all good. I'm not going to close this. Actually, no, I am. Let's. There you go. Here is our wonderful conveyance, which we shall see in action soon, because I need to take a break because a couple of those chases. So when I come back, let's work out what I'm going to do when we come back. Port Haven is the next place to go and carry on the Vagabond storyline. So look forward to that. In 5 or 10 minutes, I need to go and stretch and hydrate and run some ads. You know, all the good things that the chat and or Twitch want me to do. And my own body, I guess. I will be back in probably about 10 minutes. And I hope to see you all there. See you in a few. And we are back. Hi everyone, sorry for the slight delay. It's all good. Let's take our new train and head to Port Haven, shall we? That's a good deep chug it's got. It's not a phrase I expected to say. Yeah, because we've got a couple of... This is not the turning we wanted. We've got a couple of things at Port Haven because the Vagabond wanted to go to the Skylarks meeting there, and also there's somebody to repair the magician's equipment for the circus. So we can hit both of them up. Then probably head down to the circus again, it's not far. This is the nice part of the Reach, unlike every other part of the Reach. Commission the Reclusive Carpenter. Well, let's try a port report first, is what I think. Reclusive Carpenter. The Carpenter squints at the letter and goes quiet. Another one? Fine. Looks like I need the legs of a cantankerite. Tap more, I don't know, but I require plug joints such as they have. Okay, great. More stuff to do. Guess we're not going straight down to the circus after this. Of the Skylarks. The camp has moved since the Vagabond was here last. He stoops to examine a wooden post etched with dozens of signs. We call these the Skylark signals, says the Vagabond. The post has been carved with dozens of crude hieroglyphs. Top secret. We carved them to tell each other the character of a port. He jabs at a row of zigzags. This means unfriendly. He points at a triangle. This means there's a Skylark camp nearby. Follow him past the village's fringe. You hear voices raised in drunken songs. Then you see a crumbling bridge beneath which are campfires and tents. My loyal subjects, roars the Vagabond, plunging down the slope. Okay, that used up some of our welcome in town, and so we need to spend some resources to get it back. But as it is, stomping around the fires, singing of old adventures, howling, dancing and laughing, the Skylark's coats are ragged, their hygiene is questionable, and many of them bear unsightly scars, but they seem to have found something to celebrate. Perhaps just that they've made it through the month. They raise their flasks and bottles in a toast and roar together, "My life is a lark, my king is the sky." Let's listen to some stories. A skylark hunches forward, his face skull-like in the firelight. He launches into a fanciful tale of somewhere hidden in the furthest corner of the reach called the Sugar-Spun Garden. The Sugar-Spun Garden is a mythical place where weary skylarks can settle down. He describes whiskey rivers and marzipan mountains and a land without laws. The skylark lucky enough to find his way here can sleep contentedly in a grove where even the trees are smiling. This is 100% Figure on Candy Mountain, yes. When he's finished, half the skylarks are weeping. The vagabond raises his flask solemnly. Cinders swirl into the night sky. Yay, got some sky stories. And we can trade rumours. A group of flint-eyed skylarks are blowing smoke rings and sharing what they've learned while they've roamed the high wilderness. They discuss where to find work in New Winchester, the price of beer in Lustrum, the balance of the Winchester War, and wilder rumours too, of course. A wild-eyed skylark claims that the devils of Carolyn are replacing them with doppelgangers. One woman, shivering, insists that she saw a 100-eyed monster the size of a continent swimming through the dark. Lastly, a solemn young woman announces that a skylark named Quivers has gone missing. It's been months since he was seen at camp or any stations. Probably dead. There are 1,000 ways for a skylark to die before their time. And the party is dying down. Many of the skylarks are asleep in their tents or drifting back to the station in search of a ride. Yes, we're done. You search among the tents for the amiable vagabond, and find him fast asleep beside a dwindling fire. A flea-bitten dog is gnawing at one of his boots. Skylarks are quite happy to let their so-called king sleep it off in the dirt. You shake him and he wakes with a noise like a bear being stabbed. "Another fine meeting with my loyal subjects," declares the vagabond, lurching to his feet and swaying only slightly. "Come, let us return to the engine. Adventure awaits!" He sets off confidently. In the wrong direction. The vagabond's wanderlust is never sated. If you talk to him again, he might wish to visit somewhere new. Okay, do that. We have won out our welcome. Okay, well, let's go back to the dock. We can spend some of all this gossip we've got for more welcome. They love us in Port Haven now. We can recruit crew here as well. That is good, because we need that. One whole crew. Great. Alright. So, let's talk to the vagabond again. Speak of the ones in the sky, because we have some visions of the heavens. Since you left Port Haven, the vagabond has limited his fiddle playing to the most melancholy refrains. Every time it leaves the boilerman in such a tearful mess that he has to abandon his duties. You share a drink and a few stories with the vagabond, hoping to get to the root of the matter. "Even amongst skylarks, I don't feel quite at home," he says. "I can't stop thinking about my old homestead in Lustrum. Perhaps we could visit there someday. Yeah. Captain, take this flask away from me. Whiskey and nostalgia is a dangerous combination." To Lustrum, you say? Well, we were heading in that direction anyway, because, like all the things we've been asked, are taking us to Lustrum and Carolyn, so that is where we're going. Let's go to Carolyn first, shall we? Okay, that's some ominous green fog we're sailing into. And of course I say sailing. Still isn't a ship. But no, I think the ominous green fog is really just how the Reach looks. Should I swap in a new interest and see if anything's happened there? My computer's chugging again. Really hope the stream hasn't gone down again. Hope it's just the game dropping frames. Still see me? Excellent, thank you. We want crew. Ah, so still too early. Boo, boo to this. Still don't have a lot of money. Boo to all of this. Well, let's just keep going. To Carolyn. I do wonder if we're missing like a whole other station in like that area. But frankly, until something tells me to go and explore there, I'm not going to. Have enough trouble getting to places I know exist. And if I see a cantankerite along this way, I need to murder it so I can take its legs to give to a carpenter. You know. Extremely normal hours. Icy passageways, which is usually where I run into trouble that screams at me and then tries to murder me. You know how it is. Although we're not quite as west as I thought. Oh wait, I think this is the background that I've been staring around. Yeah, it is. Good job, me. I can interpret a game. There's a scribe spinster. I don't particularly want to tangle, but if it decides to, I will. I have a new ship, and I kind of want to see how it handles the fight. It's still not a ship. But no, the scribe spinster has fled from my new train. I mean, it's not gone far. And it's got friends. Forgot they had that attack. Yeah, bad times. Bad times, very bad. Very bad, extremely bad. Stop, stop, cease immediately. Back up. Oh god, they have backup too. Oh no, no, forgot they could do that. Despite the bit a minute ago where they did that and I'd forgotten they could do it. I'm running away. Allies, and by allies I mean a distraction. Look over there. So I think that all went terribly well. I was meant to be going to Carolyn first. Oh well, guess I'm in Lustrum now. Yes, I also keep reading it as the Underserved, and like I wrote it. The Vagabond's residence. You follow the Vagabond past Lustrum's outskirts into the whirling whiteness beyond. My pay in the nature reserve will be available in 4 days, but God, I'm glad somebody is keeping track of dates, because God knows I'm not. Into the whirling whiteness beyond. Miles from civilization, you find a mansion half buried in snow, perched on a rocky outcrop. The Vagabond wades to the door and slams on the iron knocker. After some time, the door eases open. A doddery butler peers out, his face so downcast it looks half melted. "Welcome back, sir," says the tragic butler wearily. "A letter was delivered in your absence." So you've got a big house. 10 bedrooms, a kitchen that could staff a dozen cooks, a chandelier that drips with diamonds. Princes have lived less ostentatiously. Ah, you should have seen it in its heyday. Vagabond rubs his hands before the fire. Warm, noisy, bustling with staff and guests. Our parties could be heard in New Winchester, isn't that right? Quite so, sir, says the tragic butler. I struck it lucky in the mountain, you see. As the Vagabond found enough hours to make me rich. Rich enough to buy all this and more besides. He claps you on the back. All the luxury in the world can't compare to the majesty of the open sky, though. Right, Cap? Well, let's explore. You know, have a look around. The mansion is colossal. Its walls built with bronzewood logs, its bathrooms gleaming with ivory, its walls decorated with gold-framed portraits of a younger, better-groomed vagabond. But it's also obviously been years since it was properly maintained. Some of the windows are broken, and snow has heaped the floor beneath. Black mould streaks the carpet. There's an overpowering smell of damp. About that letter. You've been branching the envelope for more than half an hour now. Just give me the gist of it, will ya? Asked the Vagabond, idly tossing snowballs at a portrait of a severe-looking woman in black. The butler clears his throat. The letter was delivered by a skylark who called himself Quivers, sir. In it, he claims to have discovered the location of the sugar-spun garden. He was seeking your help. The Vagabond pauses mid-throw. That's a myth. A story to tell over campfires when the night is cold and hungry. He sounds uncertain for a moment, and shrugs. Young Quivers means well, but he must have been mistaken. Well, let's spend the night. You stay up into the night. Your conversation is meandering, but the Vagabond repeatedly circles back to the mysterious letter. I'm worried for Quivers, he says. The other Skylarks haven't seen him in months. He comes to my house babbling about a myth. The next morning, the butler says his plaintive goodbyes. As you crunch through the snow toward Lustrum, the Vagabond says he plans to track down Quivers. What kind of a king would I be if I didn't protect my subjects? He asks. Besides, I once believed in the sugar-spun garden myself. Must admit, curious. Given that the Big Rock Candy Mountain was a metaphor for death, this should be interesting. Yep. Collect my haul of hours. Nothing much to report, so that's 5, yeah. Which is good, because we're wanted hours still. The circus. Well, I just need to find a cantankerite and then I can sort that. Your foreman has bad news. Your claim has run dry. What? What? The crew gathers together your final haul of hours and awaits further instructions. Their frostbitten fingers twitch for the warmth of the train. Oh, well, I got an extra haul, so I've got so many hours on me. Retrieve one. Yeah, just. I can only retrieve you one at a time because of the thing. There's no just retrieve all button. Cool. So we're nearly fully stocked again. So that's fun. Join a plot against the Winwood Company. The Winwood Company's factory poisons the air. Worse, their miners take all the best claims. At the back of the hangman, schemes are in motion. The prospectors still see you as a newcomer, but you've proven your mining chops. Their numbers are too few to reject you. They let you into their war room at the back of the hangman. Something, they say, must be done. When asked what, they frown. Something big, they declare. It appears that is as far as their resentment has gone. So, do we suggest building a bomb, or letting me do the talking? Let's do talking first. Diplomatic action. Winwood is just another company, and companies are made up of people. They must listen to reason. The plotters consider this. It is worth a try. You spend the evening writing down a polite but firm list of grievances, which is entrusted into the care of a young prospector's apprentice. An hour later, he is chased back to Lustrum by two very large, very angry dogs. From this, you deduce the answer is no. Fine, then, you want me to build a bomb, I'll build a bomb. It's time for action, and a very large explosion. You can even build the device they'll need. The back room of the pub is silent while you work. It isn't long before you've assembled the bomb. All that remains is to slip it into one of the barrels heading for the Winwood factory's mighty furnace. When it comes, the explosion is glorious, a slow-motion flowering of flame that lasts much of a day. Nobody's hurt, even the closest have plenty of time to evacuate. The damage to the inside of the factory, however, is nigh incalculable. This facility will not be processing any more hours for the foreseeable future. Cool. The fortunes have swung even more in the tacties. Hooray. I've got three more barrels of hours, and I'm now carrying too much stuff, so I'll need to sell something before I go. Actually, Mr. Pennies, you want hours, don't you? Exchange some hours for another worldly artifact? You provide a fragment of hours for sale, a few seconds at most. Pennies snatches them up with the blackened and leathery appendage that reaches out of its shroud. Mr. Pennies shakes as it sniffs at the little cigar box and the sprinkling of calcified time within. Yes, it whines. Will do. Will suffice. Well, I'd still need some money as well. 2 whole sovereigns for a barrel. Wow, yeah, it said that was a pitiful exchange. And you're not wrong. You are not wrong. Let's buy a round of drinks. Why not? Oh. An elderly prospector and a hulking, scarred miner move aside to give you just enough space to squeeze in. Everyone seems to be talking shop. More importantly, everyone at this table appears to have had at least some luck out here. Let's listen to gossip about the mountain. These newcomers reckon they've got it made digging in the mud. Don't realise the geodes is cold, do they? Hardens the muck. If you're not breaking your back, you're not doing it right. Serves them right for thinking a claim just out of town's going to pay out. Okay. We need a port report. If I click Explore Lustrum, will it just be really depressing again? No, this is new. When they first arrived, the prospectors hastily constructed tents and shacks next to the prim houses of the Londoners desiring proximity to the mountain. Now, most of those houses are deserted or taken over by squatters. The tents and shacks spread out from the shanty town to anywhere with enough space to raise a roof. Your wandering takes you too far. Foul breath spiced with rum. Something sharp in your back. Just a few sobs, friend, whispers a voice in your ear. Don't act like you can't afford it. I mean, the fact that there is a turn the tables button makes me want to press it. A mugging? How great. You reach for your pocket, only to suddenly launch a vicious kick to your assailant's left kneecap. She, the scream makes it obvious, falls back. You turn to see a slight-looking woman in what was once a fine dress lying in the mud. She does have a knife, but her hand trembles enough that she's more likely to do herself harm than cut you. She clearly has nothing to take, and Lustrum has no law of note to either arrest her or pay for her capture. She's not worth any further effort. Okay, yeah, it got depressing. There we go. Okay. Yeah, and it looks like we can't get another claim once we've had one, I don't know, or it just hasn't given me the prompt. Who can say? Used to want explosives, and you're selling cheap hours. Oh, I don't have any hold space. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on moving. Next up, we're down to Carolyn. But first, I need to talk to the vagabond again. Ask about his plan. I've been making inquiries, says the amiable vagabond. Quivers was in a travelling Skylark band named the Blunt Instruments. That's an outstanding band name. They weren't very good, but they robbed the bars they performed at, so they made enough to get by. I thought the rest of them were killed in a shootout last year. He beams triumphantly. Except there was one other survivor. A concertina player who goes by the charming epithet of Ratbite. She's currently imprisoned in London for some marvellous crimes. I propose we break her out and see if she's heard from her old partner in crime. Everybody wants me to go to London. Everyone. Who knows, maybe this is the episode where I do. Because, I mean, you need to pay hours to get a permit to travel, and we can do that. I have a lot of them. More scribe spinsters, and this time I'm not going to pick a fight because it went so well last time. Just so well. Okay, it's not this turning, right? Yeah, it's the next one. Ah, a cantanker, I need one of them. You there. You there, notice me. Wow. I just got blanked by a space isopod. How's your day going? There's a marauder. I'm sure the marauder notices me. Okay, the signal box. I don't need more supplies, so let's just read the ledger. No matter how many times you put it in the chat, I'm not going to stretch while the train is moving, because that way leads to me taking the concentration off it and getting murdered by a scribe spinster or something. Ever think about hitting pause and stretching? No. I refuse. Some things just will not be countenanced around here, and responsibly pausing the game is not one of them. I said we were doing this in Iron Man mode, well I'm doing it in Super Iron Man mode. Never turn the game off. Yeah, okay. The series of alarming noises that just came out of my shoulders suggests that you may have had a point. You know? Anyway, we're at Carolyn. They're selling seeds for cheap. I don't think I need seeds for anyway, do I? Nah. And they sell nectar here. What was the overgrown shrine about? Oh, it's the burrow below. Yeah, I'm not stealing from the burrow below. It gave me enough trouble before. Chat knows what's best. That is a bold statement. Do a port report. Yes, I do still need more tea. Keep not finding where sells tea. It's very annoying. Ask about Sarge's stuff to the Rat Brigade. You're directed to the presiding Davaless. Her record keeping is immaculate. Sarge left something behind. She'll have made known. She glances up when you enter the office. On noticing the Rat Brigade, her eyebrow rises a fraction. You've never satisfactorily answered the question of rodent cells. How can I help you? She addresses you and ignores the rats. It transpires that the Davaless is able to locate Sarge's file remarkably swiftly. She does not hand over the slim folder, but reads it in silence. There, I knew he'd specified something, that those who came looking for that which he entrusted to us must first undergo penance, to avoid a repetition of his mistakes. You'll require a shift in perspective. That can be gained in the checkerboard garden. Okay, guess we're going to go and do that. To the checkerboard garden. It's reached by a flight of wrong-sized steps. The rise is too steep and the flats too narrow. Not a long journey, but by the time you come out onto the plane of the checkerboard, your calves are hurting. The devils are playing tricolored chess with some of the penitents. White pieces, red pieces, pieces the colour of a flourishing wind. Around the edges of the board sit the patients who've already been captured, or who were never part of the game to begin with. So, gain a shift in perspective. Those who name drop, who aim too high, who spend too much time in low company, who do not know their place, they wind up here. The Red King signed letters with an honorific reserved for non-mortal persons. For the penitent's own good, he has a locked tongue to prevent so much as speaking the name of a superior. The supervising devil is distracted by the play on the chessboard. As for your punishment, it does not bear speaking of. For a month afterwards, you see devils dancing in the corners of your eyes. Also, there's a rubbery man here, and if you know Fallen London at all, you'll know that rubbery men are the best. just saying. Consider the rubbery man. He stands at the edge of the board, ignored by the players. No one has dressed him for the chess game or let him enter the board. Let us speak. He is surprised that you approach him. He moves to make room for you in case you're merely trying to occupy his space. When you speak to him, he offers you a squishy handshake. By various signals, gestures, and directions of his eyes, he indicates that he has come here looking for his place in the world. Do you know about the devil with the rose-coloured gloves, which is a quest that I was meant to be following that I completely didn't do? The rubbery man holds up one tentacle, representing the devil, with rose-coloured gloves. Then he holds up another tentacle. After a moment, he twists the two tentacles together. Are the tentacles meant to be kissing? Is that what that is? When you look blank, the rubbery man repeats the pantomime several times. Perhaps the devil has a lover? Perhaps the devil loves the rubbery man. Perhaps the devil enjoys exotic forms of dance. Who could say? So if we had shift of perspective and enlightenment, or 5 shifts in perspective, we could provide the rubbery man some penance and do a thing. I mean, I could keep grinding them here, but you know, I'm gonna just keep rolling this until I get a failure. There's your failure. Because it gains terror. I'll do one more. The text is slightly different every time, but it's just like procedurally generated. We've almost got 6, which will be enough to... Yeah, I am very bad at cutting my losses. Come on, it's Hubris channel for a reason. There we go. We now have 6 of those, so consider the rubbery man. We can provide some redemption. Conversion requires a change of understanding, an alteration of state, both sudden and permanent. You offer the penance. May the rubbery use a human penance, as such penance is, well, compatible? The rubbery man accepts it, takes it into an orifice, digests it. His eyes close. Then they open again. They are your eyes. Your eye colour, same pattern in the iris, you know, from mirrors. He stares around as though seeing everything for the first time. Thank you, he says. Perhaps he's grown your tongue and teeth, too. Then he places 2 damp objects in your hand and walks away towards the staircase. Well, it stands to reason that his original eyes had to go somewhere. I love it when they do just lean into the subtle horror of this universe, and Carolyn is very much the place for that. We now have 2 uncanny specimens, and they're a rubbery man's eyes that he gave to us. But we got some XP. We have done enough here. Return. I kind of want to just keep looking around all the stuff. Actually, tell you what, I'll go back to the foyer, to the presiding Davilis, and give her this change in perspective. You have been cleansed of Sarge's sin. The Rat Brigade looks almost contrite. The presiding Davilis smiles at the unhappy expressions of the rats. Much better. She passes over a single piece of paper from the Sarge's file. It smells of incense and jasmine. Okay, Sinters explains. Sarge did like his luxuries. The writing is minuscule, brief. The vault is at the central office of Hallige's Bank. The account was opened in London, in the year before the blockade of New Winchester. The Deviless is already working on a new file. You have apparently been dismissed. Okay, so talk to them, you say? Discover what they're up to. They know the location of Sarge's vault. They don't seem to want to leave your locomotive. They need the numbers to the account. Where do they think they'll find them? The air is thick with the scent of jasmine. The rats have acquired a hookah pipe and are reminiscing over their lost Sarge. Albrecht twitches his immaculate whiskers. We need to find Vilma, a strategist, but it will be awkward. She was Cinder's partner. There's a snort from somewhere in the nest. Albrecht continues. We lost touch with the others, but Vilma will know where they are. When we open the vault, you will have a share, of course. The last I heard, Wilma was residing up into your house as a pet. Albrecht's expression speaks volumes. Okay, another thing to endurance. Cool. Ah, we can get some more. Ask Petronella to continue Sergeant's tale. Petronella takes up the thread. So, we had a new boss, the lieutenant. Now, we wanted the admiration of command, but the Tacketies and the Stovies didn't trust us to do mercs. Just rats, right? We did eventually get a lucrative contract from the Tacketies to sabotage the governor's engine to stop her fleeing New Winchester. Risky. Who else had the know-how to get it done, right? Her question is rhetorical. Her smile is proud. She pauses. More some other time, I think. Didn't mean to close that. There's more to do at Carolyn. Okay, so let's go looking around, because for one thing, we can go to the Garden of Insatiable Roses because our soul is stained. And only penitents with stained souls may visit. Did we look here first? Before I think we did. The path runs around the side of Carolyn to an area that cannot be seen at all from the centre. It's a narrow and unassuming path, almost overgrown, and the ground underfoot is soft earth. Identify that scent. Wood from the back of a wardrobe. Folded newspaper. Musty correspondence. The smell of a mother's hidden keepsake drawer opened by a child. Yes, because this is where there's a picnic going on, and we need just so many penances. The hellish penitent wants 5 inescapable truth or 5 endurance. Yeah, so much of this is just taking things to one place to another place. The spineless curate needed enlightenment and shifts of perspective, or 5 enlightenment. Okay, so enlightenment you get in the Gaslight Terrace. It is 51%. Yeah. An unemployed housekeeper is prone to sloth in conversations about needlepoint. As a corrective, she is being subjected to a series of drum beats and erratic bells just when falling asleep. As for your punishment, it does not bear speaking of. You don't have the stamina to waste it out. I want to think. My terror is getting very high. One last try. Okay, I'll do this another time when my terror is not so. Where have we not been? Not been to the Bell Garden. You put your foot on the first step and the devil blocks you. Those who enter the Bell Garden must be in a proper state of hygiene, Captain, he says. Wouldn't want to make things worse for all sufferers. He washes his hands at the fountain. Stopping you must have been grubby work. Okay, so we need to do a ritual of purification. It's only 51% chance of success. I'm good. Stunted grove. The thorn bushes grow thorns an inch or more long. There are paths between them, but it's hard to pass by without tearing one's clothes. The devils who work here have scratches on their forearms, though they do not seem to mind. It's not a single comfortable place to sit. Professional penitent, she's seated on a stool eating vast quantities of sorbet. She collects penance for other people. Well, let's talk to her. The penitent is seated on a stool, eating from an enormous barrel of violet sorbet. There's enough to supply a carnival. The penitent's lips are blue, her fingers are sticky, there are purple smears on her frock. Wasps are taking an interest in the side of her face. When you come over, she puts down her spoon long enough to greet you. I'm here on behalf of Viscountess, who doesn't love her children. She's waiting back in London for me to deliver her penance. Pointedly, the supervising devil sets another long-handled spoon at her elbow. She wants 5 ordeal or 1 apple deprivation. But we can ask her about the devil. She smiles reminiscently when you describe the devil in question. I know him, she says. I've been coming here a long time in my line of work. He used to be very highly placed, you know. And then the presiding devil asked quite him pinching supplies from the storehouse and gave him a demotion. Now he performs a few of the lesser punishments. Some lightweight pitchforking, a little work with old poker. His heart isn't in it. Devils don't stick long at anything. Okay, that didn't help a great deal. I kind of want to just try and get into the Belgarden. Purification, according to the devils, is a matter assigned by lot, daily changed. Some patients must wash in salt water, some in fresh. Some must burn their old clothing, or shave their heads, or sustain a high note of song for a full minute by the clock. And some are made to sit in a chair and be lowered into a den of snakes. Perhaps tomorrow's purification ritual will be a little more tolerable. Yeah, okay, so I'm leaving. Wait, what feels like anti-devil bigotry? I am intrigued. Let's grab another couple of barrels of supplies. They don't sell fuel here, which is honestly terrible. They probably do at Port Prosper, and I was saying we might go to Albion anyway, but no, honestly, I'm going to hit New Winchester, drop off these last barrel of hours to the circus, and then over to Port Prosper. The idea that devils are incapable of doing the same thing. Yeah. The characterization of devils in this is, I don't know, variable, I would say. Speaking of which, I still need more tea to talk to this one. Ooh, some crates. Love me a crate. Tea! Love me a crate! Yeah! So let's do that now. Ask him about his possible enemies. If he's attracting assassins onto your locomotive, you deserve to know everything. Though he'll see that point of view better implied with tea. I have had 3 particular friends, he says. 2 of them I think are dead, and as for the third, it would not be her style to look for me, but if I were to trace this matter, it would take me to Carolyn and to London, to the Well of the Wolf. He catches the corner of your glance. You asked about my enemies, I know, he says. But when you get to my age, it's the same thing. Okay, so those are 3 places for us to go. And one of them is London, because of course it is. I know we've just come from Carolyn and we could just turn around. But honestly, I'm low enough on fuel that I think if we continue to New Winchester, then to the circus, then to Carolyn, then to Port Prosper. Makes sense to me. Let us see if it makes sense. What? You are in possession of a certain otherworldly artifact. It's begun to appear persistently in your dreams. Never prominent, but always present. Sat innocuously on a mantelpiece, half hidden in a shadowed corner, carried casually by a loved one. Okay, spend fuel to not lose terror. Not take terror, even. Offer it to the Waste Waif. The Waif is one of the gods that Skyfarers pray to. It takes an interest in outcasts and the lost, and tends winds as a shepherd tends sheep. Take yet more terror, or drop my terror by 50 and take some nightmares. You know what? Let's play with the gods. You open a hatch, fling the artifact out into the sky, following it with implications about how it is unwanted, and unwelcome, and unloved. The wind snatched away. Did that work? Well, now the Waste Wraith is watching me. Something will happen with that. That's one thing you really learn in Sunless Seas as well, is you can have a god's attention and a god's curse, and often it's hard to say which one is more dangerous. So it goes. Good train name. Oh wow, when did we take all that damage? Oh, it was when I decided to fight a Scry Spinster and then everything went badly. Strip for repair. Oh, and there's a Marauder. That does not seem to be chasing me, so that's all too good. I'm still dodging background rocks. Those are just art. Those are not. They do not have hitboxes, Emma. Ugh. Okay, I think we've got some port reports to hand in, so let's just quickly do that. Sovereigns, all good. And spin, and accelerate. And steam onward to New Winchester. Chugga, 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 chugga. Got a little bit of crew space from that as well. Get some repairs. An opportunity. A Nicotine Factor requests a meeting. A neat calling card waiting for you at the station. The paper was scented, the envelope ironed. The meeting takes several days to arrange. She rejects the round table as a venue and all of the cafes in the upper district, even that nice tea room under the bridges. Eventually you agree upon the parlour at Company House, which is open to visitors on a Sunday. The Panicky Factor requests you change table 3 times before she's satisfied. I'm looking for several disappeared colonists. I believe their destination was Cyprus. I'd be much appreciative if you would take me there. Oh god. Going back to Cyprus. I just might not for the minute. Oh, LNS isn't far away. Is it worth it to take another job to offload some of these hours? Because I have so many. Why not? Was that a bad idea? Who can say? I do have pay waiting at the Nature Reserve. Yes, you are quite correct. So actually, it isn't a bad idea at all. It's an amazing idea, and I was correct all along. Just as usual. I don't really have the money to justify buying more upgrades for now, so instead let's just head north. This bridge doesn't have a name, and we all know what that means. seriously, I love the depth of backgrounds in this. I know I've said this like every episode, but it's such a nice artistic touch. I was always some of the coolest bits of Sunless Sea when suddenly you could like make up things under the water, and now, because you're in space anyway, they can just do that all the time. I mean, I say coolest, occasionally more terrifying bits, but you've got like the eye and that. And then when they brought out Submariner and you could actually go and poke around under the sea and everything was even more frightening, let's be real. I'm not going to make it to London by the time this stream finishes, am I? It's just one of those games where every time you've got a plan, the game's just like, oh, well, while you're about that, it's like, ah. And I love the little bit of tilting you can see when your train turns. Because again, it would have been so easy to just have the same 2D sprite turning in place, but just that little bit of tilt so you can see a little bit more of the edges. Really nice touch, gives it a feeling of weight as it moves through space. I don't know a huge amount about animation, but I recognize cool things. Here's the LNS Nature Reserve. Beautiful approach to port. I am getting the hang of this, she says with great hubris. Oh, we reduced terror there, that is good, because I had a lot of it. Gather report. Go to Capabilities Inquest. Place for research. Ask. The phlegmatic researcher welcomes you to his table with a booming, sit down, sit down. He calls for one of his scouts to pour you a brandy. Thanks to the hard labour of my fine colleagues, we've done it! Witness the culmination of their efforts. It's just outside the window! The phlegmatic researcher points with his walking stick and raises his eyebrows theatrically. An orchard is growing outside. The trees all bear, well, one cannot say fruit, for they bear potatoes or carrots, while others have ears of corn hanging like pine cones. The phlegmatic researcher raises his glass. I call them sapling knots. With careful discipline, it's possible to harness the reach's chaos and abundance. After that, one may dictate growth. Wood may be negotiated with. Well, like guts and seeds, I guess. Okay, so he wants, more stuff. The stomach of a cantankerite, cutting of the titanium petal, or a fungal crinoline. Where do fungal crinolines come from? Fungal meteoroids. Okay, whatever, sure. Is there anything out of its idyll? Oh, let's take a trip into the reserve with the romantic ornithologist. He claps his hand with quiet delight when he sees you. I've found a most wonderful place, shall we? You delve into the reserve together. The birds sing around you, the flowers offer sweet perfumes. A pleasing breeze tumbles through a glade, whistles around a mountain bend. Fungal debutante balls. Ah, now that's art I want to see. But most importantly, 155 sovereigns a barrel. Yes, become wealthy. Oh, and they're selling munitions, which I'll just buy one. I only need one more for Lustrum, right? Yeah. No, we'll just buy one. I mean, I'm not going back to Lustrum for the time being, but... mean, I could just drop into Tanya on the way past, because what's a petal cutting? Again, just side things. Oh. Wasted time. Morale is strained. Someone has been careless. One of the barrels in your hold wasn't securely fastened. It split, spilling the precious hours across the floor. Already the hour's insistent melancholy has begun to permeate the engine, and your clocks are becoming erratic. So do we throw out the barrel, or probably lose some crew? Let's just throw it out, that's fine. The crew hurry the hours to an exterior hatch and pour them out. You watch as a month spills glittering into the night. Oh, there's a wreck there. Let's see if we can grab it on the way past. 61% chance of investigating it? Yeah, why not? Oh, well, we failed and got a bunch more terror. That's not great. Got 64 sovereigns, lost 2 people. Summoned a marauder. Crashed into the marauder, lost some hull. It's all gone so well. Chat, why did you let me investigate that wreck? Honestly. More marauders. Hubris, solid answer. Ha! Nailed that shot. Get wrecked. Strip for materials to repair everything I just lost. Oh, but we've taken a critical hit, which probably means something will explode at some point. Great! See, that was hubris. Still can't get any free bronze wood there because we don't have mining equipment. Oh, engine damage, there we go. So, once again, do we want to lose fuel? Do we want to lose supplies and time? I think we can get supplies in Titania, so that's fine. Oh, but that does mean we gain some terror, which is not great, but hey. Thought I was going to crash into the wall there, didn't you? 'Cause I certainly did. DS Eri, DS Appies. Titania is under siege. Chorused bees flood its streets of petals. The thrashing of their wings is the drumbeat of apocalypse, and the people flee in panic from their mighty stingers. There is no safe harbour and no respite. All is lost. Well, they did say these options are available because Titania is not full of bees, and now it is. Well, 81% chance on Orion. All hands, ready your weapons. Fire! God, fire! Now the DS Eri is stuck in your head. Well, you're welcome. Plain song drowns the lamentation. Well, there you go. That's clearly the soundtrack we're going for. And the fury and the mind. All the world joins death's hymnal. Those who proudly defy their fate, those who beg for wretched mercy, those who raise their arms, those who buckle their knees. The chorister hive takes the lyrics of poets yet unwritten, the unsung songs from lips now forever silent. It's only iron and fire that quietens the voice of carnage, but lo, the song ends only by its own accord. Once the nectar is gathered, the hive departs. There is a lasting silence. Yeah, wow. I've been watching a bunch of Coheed concerts lately, and that sounds like their lyrics. But yes, here we see the problem with building a city in a giant flower next to a beehive. What did you expect? The port unfurls itself, welcoming you ashore. Little remains of the port now that the hive has departed. The crystal domes are cracked. The buildings beneath them lie in ruins. Lie in ruins, even. Survivors pick through the rubble for salvage, while a philosopher proclaims on the nature of destruction and rebirth. The more practical poets glare daggers in their direction as they attempt to rebuild. The damage from the chorister hive doesn't appear to have dampened the mood. Oh, well, let's write up a quick court report. A new start for Titania. 3 of Titania's most prominent citizens are arguing about the new direction of the port post-apocalypse. The rhapsodic mayor looks relieved to see you. Ah, Captain. Perhaps you can help settle a little matter for us. We've agreed we need to choose one style and stick with it, but... She sighs, gesturing at her fellow council members, the melancholy poet and stone-faced sculptor. Well, we find ourselves at an impasse. Your thoughts? Okay, so advocate for Albion or Eleutherian style. We've not been to either of those places, so we can't actually say. And annoyingly, I don't have a way here to get a flower cutting. Boo. They're still selling ministry-approved literature. Okay, well, there's nothing much we can do here then. But I did want to get some supplies and fuel. Now, if we push through here, there should be a connection to there to get down before Avon. This is a train of thought that has never ended badly for me, or anyone. Train of thought, yes, thanks for that. Not intentional. Honestly, I've never... To quote Shah Aznable, I've never made a pun in my entire life. Dodging the wrong way. Okay, look, you can get it. By it, I mean shot. Oh, hello. The Oathbreaker. Oh yes, debt was sworn on the name of the borough below. We ran into that, but now I know enough about this guy that I know how to take on the debt and pay it. One of your crew, tattooed with dragons, acts as an occasional mediator with the borrower. She conducts a simple midnight ceremony in which you recite the promise that was made and immediately pay the amount owed. Your purse is lighter, but the debtor, the dettee, and the mediator seem happy. Outside, the sky is fogged and thick. Okay, so we've now got her attention. That's, like I say, hard to say what's more threatening. What have we found? Some more hours to replace those last ones. I think he has a tighter turning circle than me. Thanks for telling me Marauders flock near here. I couldn't have come to that conclusion myself. Okay, so this new train handles reasonably in a fight, but it does make it very difficult for me to pronounce words. Oh my god! Well, they weren't wrong about Marauders flocking here. This certainly constitutes a flock. You know, I can't even be bothered to fight this one. Bye-bye. You may have a better turning circle than me, but I am faster. And I am searching for a passage that may or may not exist. As I do. Listen to some threatening music. Bong. Seems appropriate for these surroundings, because this is dark numbers. And our terror is nearly maxed out. That's, you know, I'm gonna go with probably not great. Probably not great. Rumors of mutiny. There we go, we're doing the same thing again. But now that we have the attention of the borrower, we could make the crew swear oaths of loyalty on the borrower. The borrower below, one of the gods of the sky, is a keeper of oaths. Her eye is upon you. Few among you dare break an oath sworn on her. Like, that's good and all, but I do not want my terror to hit 100, because in Sunless Sea, that kills you instantly. So, yeah, I will just, again, cash out 50 of them for some nightmares. Oh, the music stopped. Okay, so that was tied to my level of terror, not to the actual area. That's interesting. That's good to know. Okay, so this comes out in Trait of Wood. Excellent. And here is Port Avon. And I can't remember where the dock is. Is it a dock? No, I think it's just a platform. I mean, like, not that much precise terminology exists for space trains in this world. Who knew? They are also selling ministry-approved literature. Restock supplies. Anything good around? Grab the port report. No, nothing in particular. So I will just keep moving. I'd like to at least make it to the circus. God, Hybris is such a long way to go. Definitely not doing that now. Oh, a Cantankerite. Excuse me. Hello? Hello, large space isopod. Hello? You missed. You missed again. Have you considered getting shot? I hear good things from me. Ah, but I needed the legs and the stuff. Okay, but we definitely need the legs. Even dead, the Cantankerite is reluctant to part with his limbs, aren't we all? With careful use of hammer and chisel, you're able to crack its shell to cut at the tendons holding them in place. Those removed, the legs come out easily. Once you've cleaned the eye-core off, they're ready to present to the carpenter at Port Avon. Okay, well I guess it's a good thing we were around here. Also, I love the fact that that Cantankerite was right next to Port Avon and it's just like, go and get me the legs of a Cantankerite, and you're like, what, like that? Oh, yes. Slightly drove into a wall there, but not hard enough to damage the train, so it's all good. The reclusive carpenter bids you deliver the material outside his workshop and return in 2 days. After the time has passed, just outside your locomotive, you find the magician's equipment boxed, ready for transport. The carpenter is nowhere to be seen. Well, hence reclusive, I guess. Refuel slightly, keep moving. I'd like to, like I say, just get to the circus and then I'll stop. Because I've got a couple of things to hand in there and it's not that far away. Watch everything go wrong between here and there. Oh hey, another cantankerite. And that looks to already be bleeding, but it's also running away, as I can't be bothered to chase it. So, here we are. Well, somebody's in a fight with it, sounds like. That is a rock. Oh no, that taxi scout is in a fight with something else, and you know what? Leave him to it. For I am going to the circus. For I have watched Carnival and Red City of Baraboo too many times, and I have romantic notions about circus folk. Where's the dog? Oh, it's there. Nearly missed it. Again, slightly bounced off a wall there, but not so you notice. New arrivals at the circus. Well, listen to their stories too. Dropped in terror. That's all good. Gravelport report. Go behind the tents. Deliver the magician's equipment. The magician inspects his equipment as thoroughly as a gunnery officer would their cannons before a long-awaited engagement. When he's satisfied that the panels do shut properly and silently, he breathes a sigh of relief. It's been some time since I've been able to do anything worth a damn. I remember back in those days, people my performances would attract. His glance catches an honourable poster of himself. He requests you leave him alone to practice. Got 100 sovereigns and some XP and some gossip. And now we can take on a new errand. The acrobat's twin. 4 of hats. One of them has run away. Again, the ringmaster huffs. It's time to bring them home. They take turns, I think, running away. They won't come back until they get into trouble. The cards say that trouble has happened. You'll find them in the Ledbetter and Stainrod Nature Reserve. Really? Game? I just... Yes, I know, this is the core loop of these games. It's going back and forth between places, but at the same time... There's that, and then there's taking the piss. Ah, but now I get free tickets to the circus. Because I'm part of the family. Yeah. Let's have another performance. The tent is half full, as captains with nothing better to offer their crews have stopped in for a brief respite. The ringmaster gives his introduction, and the acts begin. The magician appears suddenly from a puff of smoke, dazzling the crowd with his many amazing devices, and everything else is the same stuff. It is nice, it updates. Yeah, it gets better. We're making this circus back into an actually good circus. That's what we're doing these errands for. Also, let's go to the amusements. Ah, we can lose terror here. That is good. And yes, I really should have worked out that going to the fun fair would lower my terror, but here we are. Here are your hours that you needed. I thought I'd get bonus payment there, but it's just a mission of the heavens. Okay, I guess. And here I thought helping people made things worse. Turn, and miss, and cock it up, and dock again, to trigger a save, because we are done. Okay! Thank you, everyone. That's actually... we have made progress. We've done things. We worked for the circus, among other things, and we went to Hybris and we didn't die. These are all good things. These are all good things. So, but that is us done for today, so time for the wrap-up. Thanks very much, everyone who watched. Thanks if you stayed to the end. It really does mean a lot. Hydration cult gang indeed. Yes, if you've been watching this, you know where to find me, but just in case, this is twitch.tv/Serasent, SERASENT. You'll see it on the slides in the title card in a minute. I am streaming every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 PM British time. That is 9 AM Eastern, 6 Pacific. Other time zones are available. We're going to be continuing Sunless Skies until something else happens. And I'm having a lot of fun. It's great sharing this with you all. If you miss any of my streams, you can catch the VOD on my Twitch for, I think they're kept for 2 months. But also, they are going up on my YouTube, also Serasent. Slight delay in getting those up because this is a one-woman operation and I have to edit and render everything. But it gets there eventually. I've just recently uploaded the End of Paradise Killer, so if anybody wants to catch up on that, that is there. Yes. If you, if you want, you can subscribe to the YouTube for notifications of when I put new content up, or subscribe to the Twitch, follow the Twitch, to see when I'm live. Or if you think me displaying frankly terrifying levels of hubris and somehow surviving is worth your money, you can, of course, sub and cheer on Twitch. Just clip hydration cult gang. Okay. Yeah, but so you can cheer or sub on the Twitch, but very much you don't need to. You just turn up and have fun and be chill. It's all good. Yes, if you need any updates on the stream or life, or increasingly at this time of year, me shouting about Eurovision, best place to find me is on Twitter at Waruce. That's WARUCE. I make no guarantees as to the quality of the content. Yes, if you want to see me in other streams as well, you can check out twitch.tv/TheBards Playhouse. That's TheBardsPlayhouse. Every Saturday night at 6:30 Eastern. That is 11:30 at night British time. Because, you know, that's my life. Where I am playing in a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Fall of London Chronicle. It is a lot of fun. Had to miss this past weekend because, as I say, I was ill. That was a lot less fun, but I should be back in episodes to come. So come and hang out. It's a lot of fun. And subscribe to them because they do a lot of good work. Also, you can catch me on, I should have made a note, May the 15th at 7 PM British time. That is, what, 2 PM Eastern, 11 AM Pacific. That's maths. Over on twitch.tv/IdleMichael, that's IDLEMICHAEL, where I will be taking part in the 2nd edition of Michael's Cabin of Ludological Delights. It's a Twitch game show. The 1st edition was a lot of fun. This should be that as well. He's a good friend, frequent visitor to the channel. Who knows, maybe lurking at this very moment. But I think that's everything. So, as this chill piano music accompanies this train flying through space, I will leave you. Love you all, and I will see you again, same time, on Thursday. When we'll actually go to Albion, I promise you. Okay, bye everyone.